It is Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. So glad to have you with us. It is time for another mailbag. You have questions? You're in luck because I got answers for you. So we will get right to it in just a moment. Before we do, here's what I need you to do on the channel. I need you to subscribe for daily Seattle Seahawks news and rumors segments. We also do a live show on Wednesdays, and it's pretty entertaining, I can tell you that much. And we also, on the channel, do our watch parties. It's all in one place, right here, youtube.com/SeahawksTV. If you love your Seattle Seahawks, this is the place to be. Subscribe right now. First question in the inbox comes from Ryer. Where does the Seahawks top WR Duo rank among other duos in the league? I think that means wide receiver. Very high up there. Very, very high up there. DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett are right up there among the best in the league when it comes to wide receiver duos out there. I think that your number one duo is probably in Miami right now with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. That's probably your number one duo. But I think after that, they're right there in the discussion of, one of the top 5 duos in the league potentially. They are right there. But I'll tell you what, Seahawk fans, you got to feel lucky to have those guys. We're going to look back years from now and think to ourselves, man, what a special time that was when the Seahawks had both DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett in their prime. Next question, #Seahawks. Who do you think Seattle would draft if it came down to drafting a quarterback, CJ Stroud or Bryce Young? Well, that's hard to say because we've not heard anything yet of what quarterback they like better. We haven't heard any of those internal discussions from their scouting department. No leaks have occurred yet on that. But I like Bryce Young better personally, and so I think he's the better quarterback. If that answers your question for you, if I was basing this on what Seattle should do, I think the difference between these two quarterbacks, that Bryce Young carried Alabama, that they were able to win games they weren't supposed to. Meanwhile, C.J. Stroud didn't deliver enough for Ohio State, that he didn't play to his full potential. So you got one guy in Bryce Young that's won a Heisman Trophy, that's gotten the most out of his teams, and C.J. Stroud, who has kind of held back, that hasn't played to his full potential. I like Bryce Young better as far as I'm concerned. Gary wants to know, can we swoop in and sign OBJ? Well, we got some reports that the situation with OBJ in Dallas, the visit was not as good as what people had hoped, that the medicals did not turn out great for what Dallas was looking for in OBJ. And OBJ might not be able to give it a go until the playoffs. And remember, OBJ was a lot of excitement, was such a hot name for however many weeks that is. And so could they swoop in and sign OBJ? I mean, they're not necessarily being talked about right now, but if the Seahawks called up OBJ and says, hey, look, let's see what you got. Let's do our own medical information. If they find out something different than what we saw from Dallas, then maybe, potentially they could. I think it's a long shot. I wouldn't count on them signing OBJ. What say you, though? Let me know in the comments section. Here's what we're going to do for you. Make it real simple. If you want to sign OBJ, type OBJ. If you don't want to bring in OBJ, type no BJ. Okay? Let me know in the comments section. Do you want OBJ? Type OBJ. If not, type no BJ. Charlie the Unicorn writes in, Pete Carroll, Coach of the Year, who is more deserving? Pete Carroll's going to be a candidate, but Nick Sirianni, I think, is going to be your answer with that Philadelphia team. With what they've been able to do, remember, there was some folks that thought Jalen Hurts should be a running back, and he looks like one of the MVP candidates, one of the MVP favorites, that is. And so I think Sirianni is going to be your Coach of the Year, but Pete Carroll is worthy of being in that discussion for Coach of the Year. He's done a terrific job with the Seattle team. All the doubters are out there saying, hey, he doesn't pass the football enough. He doesn't know analytics enough when it comes to fourth down and all that, when to go for it. Pete Carroll certainly deserves to be talked about as one of those coaches of the year candidates as far as I'm concerned. Today's show is brought to you by Fetch, the free app that allows you to scan your receipts and earn points that can be redeemed for gift cards to your favorite stores, restaurants, and online retailers. It's super easy to use. You use the app to snap a photo of your receipts from purchases from any store or click the e-receipt option, and Fetch can connect your Amazon account and you'll earn points for all shipped orders. Plus, connect your email to earn points for every e-receipt you receive from Uber, Instacart, or any purchase you make online. Those points can then be redeemed for gift cards at your favorite stores and restaurants. Fetch is available on iPhone and Android. Use our link, chatsports.com/fetch, and enter the promo code chat and sign up for a $5,000 points when you scan your first receipt. That's the equivalent of a free $5 gift card. It's a free app, and the 5,000 bonus points is only for a limited time. So get started now, chatsports.com/fetch. Enter the promo code chat. The link is also in the comments and the description of today's video, chatsports.com/fetch. All right, some more questions in the mailbag to get to. Is it true that Rashad Penny could return this season? Well, we've been told by Rashad Penny that he could possibly come back. He spoke to the Fox station in Seattle a couple days ago, and he said that his rehab process is going very well, that he's ahead of schedule and could be back by the end of the regular season or the playoffs. It could happen, yes. I'm not counting on it happening because we were told it was season ending at the time, but this isn't unusual. Remember, the Rams last year thought they lost Cam Akers for the entire season, and he was back in time for the playoffs. So maybe we see him. I'm not counting on it, but that would be great. Now, with the way that his age works out, his contract expires. If he's not back for the postseason, I think Rashad Penny's done in Seattle. I think they move on, go get other running back options with the injuries that he's dealt with, being an aging running back. So it's interesting. Has he played his last game for the Seattle Seahawks? Will we see Rashad Penny play for Seattle again, whether it's this year or beyond? I'm very curious. Let me know in the comments section. If you think Rashad Penny will play for the Seahawks again, type Y for yes. If not, type in for no. Will Rashad Penny play again for the Seahawks? We're going to put it on our screen right now. Y for yes, in for no. Will Rashad Penny play again for Seattle, whether it's the rest of this season or into the future? Let me know in the comments section. Y for yes, and for no. We have nonstop Seattle Seahawks coverage all year long. Best part about it, it's free. It's all in one place, right here, youtube.com/Seahawks TV. Got a great watch party coming your way this Sunday. We will get things started at just around 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 12:30 Pacific, counting you down to kickoff. We will react to the game in real time, have a few drinks on hand, do a little post-game show for you. You will not want to miss it. Seahawks and Panthers, our live watch party right here on Seahawks Today, youtube.com/Seahawks TV. Ryer writes, what teams do you think are a threat to the Seahawks making the postseason? Well, the playoff picture, it's down to just a couple of teams at this point. I think the Seahawks, Commanders, and the Giants are all competing for those final spots. I think there's 3 teams going for 2 spots. I don't think Detroit or Atlanta or Green Bay is going to make a push at that point. So that's who you're competing against for those wild card spots at this point in time. And then San Francisco, too. I think the Seahawks can still win the division. I know that the New York Times put their numbers out this past week that said the Seahawks still only have about an 11% chance to win the division. I think with Brock Purdy taking over as the Niners quarterback, I think they have a better chance to win the division than what most people give them credit for. So with that, those are the teams. If you're trying to figure out who to root against, it is the Giants, it is the Niners, it is the Commanders. The teams that you need to focus on, those are the teams standing in the Seahawks' way when it comes to getting a playoff spot. Domingo writes in, will Wayne Gallman help the running back position in a major or a minor way? Well, my answer right now would be minor because at the time of this recording, he's on the practice squad, hasn't been elevated to the 53-man roster. But you look at the way the injuries have added up for this Seattle Seahawks team, that answer could change. If these guys don't come back to full strength or it takes longer than possible, then they will activate Wayne Gallman, and he would be a major help potentially. But at the moment, minor help because he's still on the practice squad. Yasha writes, hashtag Seahawks, hashtag Papa Seahawk. How much real hate should I feel for Russell Wilson after seeing how successful Geno Smith has been? Hate's a strong word. Guy still won a Super Bowl for the Seahawks. I know it didn't end well, but hate, at the end of the day, didn't things work out about as well as they could have for the Seahawks? You didn't have to pay Russell Wilson. You got all that draft capital for him. I mean, the Broncos did the Seahawks a favor, and it was one of the best trades I've ever seen of a team just dismantling the other team in a trade battle here. So I wouldn't send any hate or vitriol towards Russell Wilson. I know that, he hurt some feelings there towards the end, but the Seahawks got better from it. Tongan says, do you think we should trade Diggs for a linebacker and keep Abram and Adams? That's referring to Jonathan Abram and Jamal Adams. Trade Diggs for a linebacker? Quandre Diggs has not played great all year. He had a breakout game against the Raiders. We had 2 picks. But, for a linebacker, maybe. It's possible. But the contract that he takes on, I don't know how many other teams are going to be willing to pay that. If you're trading Diggs, I think you're looking at draft capital. I don't think you're directly looking at specific linebackers potentially. And, if you're trying to rely on Jamal Adams for your future, good luck. Charlie the Unicorn writes, what college football games are you watching, anticipating during the college football championships? I love college football. I watch college football every week religiously. And the college football playoff, I think, is going to be very fascinating. I think TCU has a chance to upset Michigan potentially. I think Georgia's probably going to beat the crap out of Ohio State. I'm actually myself, as many of you know, I went to the University of Kansas. I love my Kansas Jayhawks. I'm going to Memphis, going to go to the Liberty Bowl, cheer on KU, take on Arkansas. So intrigued with that. But, these next few weeks are just incredible with all these bowl games that we have in action every single night, a different bowl game of some sorts. To me, that's what I'm focusing on is the playoff. Producer Chugs is ready for North Texas and Boise State. The Frisco Bowl, yes. So with that said, those are the ones in particular, but I'm going to be watching as many as possible, as many as I can over these next couple of weeks. As always, follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, @TylerJonesLive. I'll see you next time here on Seahawks Today.